everyone, today Alvaring, this brand new Spanish drama series just dropped on Netflix. It's called Gang of Galicia, and in this series you see Anna. She has really very wonderful relationship with her father, like he's this boatman, and we see in this series when her father suddenly get murdered in the show. And later on, she finds out her dad is not what she thought. He was hiding his identity. He was lying all his life. And we find out more about his father later on, that he actually was on this witness protection in this series. So when Anna, she learned this information about her father, basically in this show we see she decide to, like, what happened to him. So she goes back to the town where her dad, I guess, happened to him. So she goes back to that small town to do investigation, like what happened to her father, like what happened to his past. Over there, when she goes there, she meet this, basically in this series, this leader of this gang. Of course, later on, she has this, in and on relationship with these gangs. The gang's boss in this series, to find out more about her father past. I thought overall this series, especially about the plot, is quite interesting. When you hear it, you are like, whoa, sounds interesting. And especially this lawyer played by Anna, I thought this character, her motivation to find out more about her father and what happened to him, it is very interesting and very, should be very engaging watching this series. Unfortunately, the way they shows the execution, it wasn't very engaging, I would say. Especially Anna, her character, the way she was acting often didn't match with her motivation. Not that this actress, she didn't do good job, but her character really lacked any, interesting aspect. Like, we don't know anything about her except she just goes to run. And however, though, the leader of the gang, his character did have some interesting character arc. I was like, whoa, his character is actually interesting as you learn more about him, and especially his father and his background. Overall, I'd say out of these two characters, the guy was more interesting. But the show centers around Anna. They should have made her more interesting. And I guess the way this actress looked, never I thought she was very vengeful. If I was her, I would be really angry and smart in this show. She looked like really down to earth, and I guess she wasn't as ruthless as we want. Even end of it, she wasn't that tough, I suppose I'm trying to say. I would say the show does have some other characters that comes in, because the show is kind of like a plot driven, so it isn't character driven. So I do understand. Overall, I thought the show was okay, honestly. Didn't have a lot of plot twist and turn. Characters were all of them very predictable, I would say. But I guess my favorite character is the guy, who was running the gang. He had some interesting character arc. Overall, the show, really, the story was quite interesting. The way the execution didn't match the plot, honestly. Especially, I think the show could have been more, it could have more action scene, more other scene. The whole time the show spends its lot of time, investigation. This undercover cop, the talking to each other. It's more about talking, very less action. Especially when you are watching a story about gang, and should be more action scene. But I guess the route the creators they took for the show, it was kind of especially all these random people, they're talking to each other, telling your story. You're like, who cares? Get to the story. And that's what I was thinking. Overall, this series is okay. I thought the center plot is interesting. The execution, unfortunately, isn't good as it could have been, unfortunately. And that's my thought on this. Let me know in the comment, what do you think about this series? If you enjoyed this review on this Spanish show, don't forget to share on other review on other Spanish show. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.